Hey guys, Kevin Adcock. Welcome back to a brand new video. And you are reading the title right. Third time's the charm. It is time for the third Forza 7 series. So, real quick disclaimer for this video. If you are watching this and you have not watched the V8 Supercar series, I suggest you go do that, because this video we will be discussing some of the results. We'll be discussing some of the situations in the V8 Supercar series as they present themselves. Because if you did watch the V8 Supercar series, you know what was very important in that series coming into this one. And as you can tell by the thumbnail, it is Indy cars. That's what we're going to be driving in series number 3. So, if you have not watched the V8 Supercars series, and don't want spoilers for what happens, because I'm not going to be saying who the champion was. I'm not going to say that. But there is a very important part of the V8 Supercars series that will be given away in this. It's not going to be the champion, but it's going to be an equally important part. Maybe even a little more important than who the champion was. But, yeah. So, if you don't want spoilers for anything related to the V8 Supercar series, I suggest you go watch that. Or if you haven't watched it and you don't mind spoilers, then continue on. And for those of you who did watch the V8 Supercars, let's get going. So, anyone who has not watched the V8 Supercars series, you have been warned, because I'm going to get into some spoiler territory when it comes to the V8 Supercars series. So I'm going to give you some time real quick to leave. Alright, so if anyone is here, so everyone here, if you're watching this video right now, you should A, have watched the V8 Supercar series, or B, have not watched it, but you don't mind spoilers. If you do not fit into one of those categories, then you should leave the video now. Alright? Alright. So, today, actually, I should go get the papers for this. Alright, so I have the paperwork. So, as you see by the thumbnail, series number 3 on Forza 7 will be Indy cars. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to this one. I enjoy, of the 2 series we've done so far, I prefer PGR, but V8 Supercars felt more like an actual sport, felt more like we were racing for championship rather than PGR. PGR, we were kind of working things out, just kind of testing the waters and seeing how things would go. But with V8 Supercars, we really nailed things. And hey, we even got a good championship battle at the end between 2 drivers. Very close championship battle. So, yeah, next series is on Indy cars. I have the schedule written down here. I also have the drivers. And real quick, I planned on having Indy cars and another series. It might not be in the next series we do. Completely depends on what you guys tell me. If you guys want to see the entire list, if I remember, I'll put it in this video. I'll put the list of the divisions in Forza 7 that I've written down for possible series. If I don't remember that, go to the Prague race. Go to the Prague 21 or something like that. Prague 27. Go to the V8 Supercars playlist and go to race 7 of 10. go to the prog race and look in the description of that video, and that is the list of the series that I have. And you'll have the entire you have this entire IndyCar series to tell me what you guys want. And for those of you who are new around here, if I don't get any feedback, I do what I want to. So, yeah. I guess, first thing we should get into is the schedule. So, with this series and a series I have planned coming up, they were both planned to be 10 races, but when I was writing down the schedules, I write these down on paper. I write down some of the stuff on my phone, but I record with my phone, so that kind of interferes with stuff. So I write everything down on paper, so I always have it with me when necessary. So I was writing all the things down, and for my thing, I was looking at PGR. And for those of you who remember, PGR was 11 races, not 10. And so when I was on the final page, and PGR is where I put the final race and also the drivers. And on IndyCar, I did, and the other series, I did the same thing. I was writing down all the numbers for all the races, and I realized I'm on number 10. I have one more race on the back of page. I have another race on the back of this page. So I guess we're having 11. Because I had already written down all the car numbers and all the stuff like that. So I'm like, I don't feel like doing it. And I did it on the other series as well. And I'm like, I feel like I should have learned my lesson before, but I didn't. So both IndyCar and this other series that we will be doing at some point will be, they will be 11 races rather than the 10 in V8 supercars. So, yeah. So, that's everything. So, yeah, I guess let's get into the schedule. So, when it comes to the schedule, let me count how many returning tracks we have. We have one. I'm gonna count the tracks as the facilities returning. I'm not gonna count the same circuit, like the Sebring short circuit. I'm not gonna count. I'm not counting that as the track. I'm counting the Sebring facility as a whole as the track. So let me see how many returning we have. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have 4 returning tracks, but as always, we're going to be running different. We're going to be running different variations of the tracks. And actually, there are 2 racetracks on the schedule that we have not been able to do because they did not work with the cars. One track that was removed from the PGR schedule because the PGR cars did not work there. And one track that was removed from the V8 Supercars series because the V8 Supercars were just too big and did not fit the track. So, we're going to be starting out the series with what is a tradition at this point. We're going to be starting out the series at Sebring, as always, for the Sebring 30. This is an 8-lap race, and it will be run on the full circuit. So both the short circuit and the club circuit combined, we're going to be running the full circuit for 8 laps for 30 miles. And this will be a rain race. So we're starting off the season in the rain, which we haven't done before. We ran it both times we ran at Sebring, it has been at night. Now, I'm going to be mixing it up with some rain. I didn't even think about running it during the day. Then again, I like to write down all the tracks, and then after I write down all the tracks, I look at which ones can have a night race and which ones can have rain races. And Sebring was one of the few tracks that we could run in the rain. So I guess that is why we were running Sebring in the rain. Probably not the best idea to start out the season in the rain, but I mean, I'm not gonna pass up the opportunity to have a rain race. I wasn't a big fan of the rain races for the V8 supercars. I feel like they were just way too big and bulky for it. But these Indy cars, they're small. They should work fine. I'm going to say this now. All of these tracks have been tested. Except Sebring, because I didn't think about it, and it's a tradition we have to race there. And there's another track that I didn't test because it would take like 5 hours. Because I like to get multiple practice laps in. Because I like to take the car. I like to take just one of the cars and then race them at the track. For the Indy cars, they're all pretty much identical. So I just took one of them and raced them on the tracks. And one of these tracks I didn't do because I like to take at least 5 practice laps. That would take a good 2 hours to do. Meanwhile, I take practice laps and it'll maybe be 10 minutes. So, yeah. Second race is at one of our only 2 fantasy tracks. Yes, this is the least amount of fantasy tracks we've had on the schedule so far. In these regards, I think we had 3 or 4. PGR, I think we had 3. Now we only have 2. And second race will be at Dubai. So we're going to be heading to Dubai for the Dubai 23. This is a 9-lap race, and it will be run on the mountain circuit. And it'll be run during the day. So, after Dubai, we head to Italy, I believe. I don't remember. But we're going to be going to Mugello for the Mugello 24. This will be a 15-lap race, and it'll be run on the club circuit. And I will be saying what the track is that I did not test at, because it would take forever. But if I don't say anything, that means I did test at these tracks, so we are good to go. Looking at all these tracks, I didn't really have any problems with any of them. The one I did have a little problem with was Dubai, but that was just because I hadn't raced there before, and it's a bit windy, has a bit more sharp turns than I expected. So we're going to be not on the gas as much as I would have thought we were, but after learning it, we are fine. I even ran a practice race there with all 8 cars on the track, and we were good to go. So yeah, we're going to be at Mugello for the Mugello 24, a 15-lap race at the club circuit during the day. After Mugello, we go to our first track that never got a race, and we'll be going to Brands Hatch. For the Brands Hatch 24, it will be run on the Indy circuit for 20 laps in the rain. I've been wanting to race at Brands Hatch for the longest time now, but PGR didn't work, and I knew if PGR didn't work, V8 supercars didn't stand a chance. So I decided just to wait, and the circuit we're running on is the Indy circuit. Indy circuit, Indy cars. Yes. I practiced there. They're fine. So, moving on. After Brands Hatch, we're going to the home of the IndyCar series. We're going to be going to Indianapolis Motor Speedway for the Indianapolis 25. Well, it's a 10-lap race, and it will be run on the Brickyard Speedway. I should have called it the Brickyard 25. God dang it. I didn't think about that. I might change that later. If I remember, I'm going to change it. So yeah, we're going to be running the Brickyard 25 10-lap race on the oval during the day. Then after Indianapolis, we'll be heading to Circuit de Spa. I don't remember the rest of the name, and the name is way too long. So we're going to be heading to Spa for the Circuit de Spa 26. This is a 6-lap race, and it'll be run on the full circuit, because the full circuit is all that I could choose from, and it'll be run at night. Alright, so after Spa, we're going to be heading to race 7 of 11. And we're going to be heading to Monza for the Monza 25. It is a 7-lap race. It'll be run on the full circuit alternate version. And that will be run during the day. After Monza, we head to our second of 2 ovals. And we'll be heading to Homestead for the Homestead 27. It will be an 18-lap race, and it'll be run on the oval. It'll be run on the 1.5-mile oval during the day. So, after Homestead, we go to race number 9. And this was the one track I did not test at because it would take forever. We are going to be going to Nürburgring for the Nürburgring 26. This will be a 2-lap race. You heard me right, 2-lap race, as we're going to be racing on the Nordcliffe, or the Nordschleife. Pretty much the big track. Because this version of the track is 12 miles long. Actually, no, it's over 12 miles long. That's why 2 laps is 26 miles. And it'll be run at night, because the track wasn't hard enough. Run it at night. After Nürburgring, even though it isn't the longest mile race, Nürburgring's I feel like gonna be like the longest video. After Nürburgring, we head to Rio for a second of 2 fantasy tracks. And we're going to be doing the Rio 27. This is a 21-lap race, and it will be run on the coast loop during the day. And then we head to our season finale. I didn't even have to think hard about this track. I didn't even have to, put any thought into what track this was going to be. I knew what it was going to be from the very start. So, this track was originally going to be on the V8 Supercar schedule, but I thought, yeah, these cars aren't going to work here. So, for race 11 of 11, we are going to be going to Yas Marina. Finally, we're going to be going to Yas Marina for the Yas Marina 27. This is a 14-lap race, and it'll be run on the North Circuit at night. So, real quick, I'm going to boot up Forza 7 so I can show you the cars. So yeah, that's pretty much the schedule. I guess I can go through some races that I might be excited for. Of all these races, I think I'm most excited for the Brickyard 25. I think that could be a really fun race. Homestead, I'm a bit worried about, because I've raced at Homestead a lot in this game. I've ran there a few times with Indy cars, but I actually don't remember a bunch about it. I don't remember there being too much passing, but it's IndyCar, so I knew we had to have some sort of other oval than Indianapolis, and I thought it didn't make sense to put these things on take these things to Daytona. I mean, to IndyCar, it wouldn't make sense to have IndyCars run the Daytona Superspeedway. I know they have in the past, and it led to bad things. So yeah, we're not gonna take these things to Daytona. We will for NASCARs. NASCARs will be running on the Brickyard, Homestead, and Daytona. So just look out for that. I don't have Watkins Glen or Sonoma, which surprised me, because I love those tracks. And Lime Rock's not coming back. So, yeah, so, give me a second here. I'm about to, I actually have everything set up right now. So, let's get into the drivers, the part you all been waiting for. Alright, so I have the Indy cars loaded up. I have it so I can easily navigate the cars. Apparently there's one of the Indy cars I don't own. I thought I owned all of them. No, I do not. That's interesting. Anyways, so yeah, now get to the drivers. So for those of you who don't know, IndyCar on Forza 7, I think sometime last year or maybe early this year, they gave away some free cars, and these free cars were 4 new Indy cars, and they were 4 of the Indy cars designed by Dallara. Those of you who don't know who Dallara is, for those of you who are NASCAR fans like me, they're the ones who are helping NASCAR design the Gen 7 car. And obviously, Dallara has worked on Indy cars, and from what I can tell, people like it has performed well, so I think us NASCAR fans are in good hands. And those of you watching this series, and along with me and the other drivers in this series, I think we are in good hands as well. So yeah, don't need to worry. So yeah, so there are 4 Dallara cars and then 4 non-Dallara cars. And with there being 4 Dallara cars, there are some repeating numbers. There are 2 repeating numbers. There's the number 9 that has a non-Dallara version and a Dallara version, and the number 2 which has a Dallara version and a non-Dallara version. Apparently, I don't have the non-Dallara number 2. And so, when it comes to Indy cars, we have 4 Chevys and 4 Hondas. And I will be calling out the manufacturers as we go along. I don't feel like they're that important, but might as well just state it because why not? So we have 8 drivers, and for those of you who you should have seen, those of you who did watch the V8 Supercar series, you know what I'm about to talk about. For those of you who didn't and don't care about spoilers, let me catch you up real quick. So, in the V8 Supercar series, near the end, when we were getting to the end, I said that if our next series had less cars than the V8 Supercars, which V8 Supercars there were 12 of them, this series there is 8. So we had I needed to get rid of some drivers, because can't have 12 drivers and only 8 cars. So yeah. So about later into the series, about the last 3 or something races, I stated that if the next series had less cars, I would take, since this series has 8 cars and V8 Supercars has 12, I took the bottom 4 drivers in points at the end of the season and eliminated them. Those 4 drivers were not allowed to race in this series, the IndyCar series. And so those 4 drivers will not be allowed to race here. But these 8 drivers performed and finished in the top 8 in points. Those drivers are the driver finished 8 in points to the champion. And so I'm just gonna name off the drivers. I guess actually it'd be fun. I'm also gonna grab the final point standings of V8 Supercars, and just whenever I say a driver, tell you where they finished and points to get themselves where they are. So, first driver driving the number 2. Driving the number 2 driving the number 2 Hitachi. Team Penske Dallara. Team Penske is going. Team Penske is going to be is going to be 3 of our Chevy cars, and there is like 3 teams in Honda. But yeah, driving our number 2 Dallara car is Langdon Pagani, and Langdon, to get here, he had an alright season. Finished 6th in points along with another driver. So Langdon fought his way, and it was rewarded as he will be able to drive this beautiful car. Alright. So after Langdon Pagani in the Hitachi number 2, we go to the other number 2 driver. And this is the non-Dallara car. So driving the number 2 Verizon Team Penske Chevrolet is Terrell Saunders. In V8 Supercars, Terrell Saunders and Langdon Pagani were 2 of the 3 drivers who all had to share the number 22. Those of you who don't know, there were 3 cars that all had the number 22 number, and there was nothing I could have done about it. So they're going to be sharing the number again, but their cars this time will look very different. Rather than just having small differences, they will look very different. So yes, Terrell Saunders in the V8 Supercar Series, he finished 8th in points. And he was 4 points above the above 9th place in points. So he barely made it in. But he did what he needed to do and got in. And this is his car. This video is already 28 minutes long, so I'm going to try to hurry up here. Next, driving the number 4 AJ Foyt Enterprises ABC IndyCar is Connor Snelling. Now, Connor Snelling had a really good season. He even came in for a tie, and he even tied with the champion. Wasn't able to get it done because he lost to a tiebreaker, when the tiebreaker for the championship goes to who has the most wins. He had 3 wins, the champion had 4, but that doesn't discount his second place finish. Because, I mean, being the youngest driver in your first season and almost winning the championship, that's nothing to laugh. That's nothing to laugh at. That is insane. So, yeah, Connor Snelling will be in the number 4. Moving on, we have the number 5 Schmidt Peterson Motorsports IndyCar, sponsored by Lucas Oil, And honestly, this is probably my favorite looking car out of all these. And this car will be driven by Corey Floyd. Now, Corey, he had a mediocre season. Say it was about average. Finished the season 6th in points, along with Langdon Wagani. So yeah. All right. So, next driver. Next, we have driving the number 9 Chip Ganassi Racing NTT Data Honda. We have Carissa Nasato. Now, Carissa and PGR, or not PGR, I keep saying PGR, in the V8 Supercar Series, she finished 4th in points, which is very good. It's a bit of a downgrade from her PGR Series, in the PGR Series where she finished 2nd, I believe, in points. But that's nothing to scoff at. 4th in points is good, no matter how you split it. Next, we go to the number 11. Driving the number 11 Chip Ganassi Racing Drive Dallara Honda is me. So in V8 Supercars, I was the champion, which made it 2 championships in a row for me. And going into the 3rd season, I'm looking to three-peat. See if I can win 3 championships in a row. And I think the guys at Chip Ganassi Racing have made a really good car, and I think I can do some really good things with this number 11 Honda. So, moving on, we have the number 15, and driving the number 15, I'm trying to find it, driving the number 15, Rahal Letterman Lonigan, Racing Dallara, sponsored by Total, is Lexa Patterson. Now, in V8 Supercars, Lexa Patterson finished in an impressive 3rd place in points. She finished 27 points behind me and Connor Snelling. But that was only because she had only 1 win. Meanwhile, me and Connor had 3 wins and 4 wins apiece. So Lexa Patterson finishing 3rd in points, nothing to scoff at as well. A really good season, and in a car like this, there's no doubt that she can do some great things. And now we get into our final car. Driving the number 22 Menards Team Penske Chevrolet is Barrett Sims. Now, Barrett Sims performed well in the V8 Supercar Series, actually a lot better than I expected. After coming off a mediocre PGR Series, he performed very well, and I think won a race at some point. And at the end of the season, he finished 5th in points with 70 points. Once again, a all-around good season for that crew. For both in PGR and V8 Supercars, he was my teammate. PGR, he was my only teammate, and in V8 Supercars, he was one of my 3 teammates. But looks like in IndyCars, we will be parting ways, as I will be going to Honda, and he will be going to Chevy. But yeah. So, yeah, I think that's going to wrap it up here. I've set the schedule, set the drivers, just showed cars. Yeah, that's about it. So, if you guys are excited for this IndyCar series, I know I sure am. I think I wouldn't say I'm not as excited for this series as I was with PGR and V8 Supercars, but I'm kind of used to this. I'm kind of used to the series now, so it's not as exciting as it once was. But I still love this series to death, and I'm excited for the IndyCar series. If you guys are too, leave a like and a comment. What you are most looking forward to in this series. And also, hit the subscribe button so you don't miss an upload. Also, ring that bell. So, whenever the first race comes out, or any race after that comes out, you'll be first to know. So I want to thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys later.